And a lot of little details that it doesn't matter if you're drop shipping dresses or you're working for a company on a project like this. I use the same exact setup on all of my supplement brands, and it yields great reward. And it also makes you stand out, which you should want to stand out if you're in the ecom space. The number one issue with ecom right now is people are terrified to stand out. They want to copy and they're afraid to do things that have never made money before. What's up, guys? Hope you're having a good day. Let's make this video really quickly to show you guys what it looks like when you're operating a ecom store at a very, very high level. So what is beyond Shrine theme? What is beyond any other people theme that you might use? This store that I actually made, I'm going to be breaking down how I made it in the Shopify tab in just a second. This store right here is the basic format that I use for all my stores. They're completely custom built, which is what many people start doing once they either reach a certain skill level or make a considerable amount of money. And a lot of people ask me what I use for this. It is it's honestly the perfect storm of apps plus just base theme. So this is a Saver base theme. You'll see here, this is the top customize Saver. It is a Saver base theme, which if you were to import Saver, it would look absolutely nothing like this. Along with a section store theme. Section store is a Shopify app. I love it. I use it for sections like this header and like this section here, all these drop downs, and of course some of the floating icons, which are on some of the other pages. But at some point you have to differentiate yourself from Shrine theme, from all the other people's stores that everybody uses. Not immediately. You can make your first 100 grand on Shrine theme, no problem. There are people ripping $1 million months on Shrine theme, but I just want to give you guys a look into what I do and what my sites look like, because I'm unnecessarily extra. But to give some context behind this brand, this is already a multi-million-dollar company. They dabble in reverse logistics, custom home building, and they also manufacture super high quality products. Everything from hats to golf bags to socks, you name it, they sell it. This is, I'm not sure if the correct term is a shell company, but Damn Good is a company that is kind of a blanket for all these other individual companies. So we have Damn Good products, which obviously the owner has not yet sent me the products to add on here, so we just have a homepage. And then we have Logistics Racing, which is just a different lander, and they are actually a NASCAR sponsor. So Logistics Racing, Logistics is their reverse logistics company, and they have a NASCAR car like this, and their drivers win many races, and they want to sell merchandise. So naturally, I'm the guy they came to, and this is the landers that I'm building. So just a quick site breakdown. We have the homepage here. All these icons are stored in a Canva file. These icons were taken from their brand site, which is a super cool site, not an e-commerce site. This is just if you want to know what they do, you can go to the site, figure it all out. But super cool website. So any icons or media that we needed, it was very simple. We just extracted the source code for these icons and used it on our own site, which is pretty neat, pretty cool. I actually made this one right here, the Poker Chip with GPT. I just thought that looked pretty sick. But we essentially have the homepage here, just all of our icons and whatnot. And then we have the Damn Good products, which will be right here, different lander. This little basketball spins as you scroll. I'll show you guys how I did that as well. And then, of course, just no products yet because they have not yet sent me the product photos, but they will go near the top right here. And then, of course, Logistics Racing for all of the NASCAR products. This site took me quite a bit to build, and while it may look fairly simple, there are a lot of little details that make it look perfect. And a lot of little details that it doesn't matter if you're drop shipping dresses or you're working for a company on a project like this. I use the same exact setup on all of my supplement brands, and it yields great reward. And it also makes you stand out, which you should want to stand out if you're in the ecom space. The number one issue with ecom right now is people are terrified to stand out. They want to copy and they're afraid to do things that have never made money before. The only reason I'm at where I'm at is because I have always tried new things. I mean, this website style didn't exist. Nobody was using the Saver theme plus section store to make sites like this until they came along and was like, I wonder what would happen. So, what's the setup look like? That's fairly simple. Obviously, I'm on a MacBook right now, so the preview is a bit skewed. You'll see what it actually looks like here. But the number one most important thing, and the number one, I think, biggest fallacy when it comes to site building and you'll see this in a lot of courses and Discords and stuff, is that it only needs to look good on mobile view. That couldn't be farther from the truth. I mean, yes, a good bit of your traffic is going to come from the phone, but especially if you're advertising on Meta, you're actually going to get a lot of desktop traffic, and you can look at that in your Meta ad breakdowns, but nobody talks about that. Absolutely nobody speaks on that. So what takes the most amount of time, honestly, two things: margins, which I'll talk about in a second, like padding, and second is making sure it looks good on every single device. And it's not just PC and mobile. It's not just these two, because this website looks wildly different on my actual PC, which is upstairs right now, my 4K monitor. This is a lot more stretched out. So when I was originally editing this on my 4K monitor and I was putting everything where I wanted it, I'd switch to the MacBook and everything would be too squished. So I had to find that nice, even medium. Same thing with mobile. Everything kind of reorganizes itself for mobile, and it still looks absolutely fantastic. You could look at this on your grandma's Nokia and it would still look good. And you guys need to begin doing this if you want a brand that stands out, no matter if your grandma's looking at it on her desktop, if your dad's looking at it on his Android, if your mom's looking at it on her iPhone, if your little brother's looking at it on his Leapfrog. It does not matter. It should look good no matter what. So that is probably the most time-consuming aspect of making a custom site for a high-level brand, if you want to stand out. The second is pure padding, and this is the only, I guess, a downside of creating a custom site. I don't really see it as a downside, to be honest with you, because it's just web design. And I use words like web design and padding and margins and base themes, and it scares people away. They're in the space, whether it's drop shipping or just e-commerce in general. No matter what you do, as long as you're on Shopify, this applies to you. If you want to get good at this and you want to stand out and you want to make a lot of money, you can't just keep using Shrine Theme till the end of time. You can't keep ripping creatives if you want to make the big bucks. You have to learn these individual skills that companies pay people individual full salaries for. Site design, copywriting, creative design, stuff like that. People get full-time salaries for, and you don't think they're important? They're extremely important. And of course, you can outsource them or you can learn them yourself. One of my worst habits to this day is I hate asking for help, and that bad habit has resulted in me learning all these skills on my own. But on that note, padding is very important as well. The second most time-consuming thing that takes me the most amount of time with these base theme custom builds is padding, making sure the padding on every single section, which, by the way, if I expand some of these, like this feature here, every single section, for the most part, has a lot of padding. Horizontal padding, mobile padding, vertical, mobile. If it's a good section, it will have mobile padding options as well, which is very useful. And padding, if you guys don't already know, and a lot of people don't because they're brainwashed by Shrine Theme, they don't even have to know what this is. Padding is just the amount of space you're allowing on top, bottom, horizontal, vertical, doesn't matter, and that wildly, drastically affects how your website looks. If you're looking at this section, you're thinking, oh, there's too much space up here, I hate how much space is on top, you would delete some of the vertical padding. That's what you would do. Of course, this is for the content, which means the media here. But a lot of the times when you scroll down to the bottom, there's just section settings as well. So section padding inside. If I say, okay, well, the site would look better if there was more space up top, more of a gap. I would take this and I move this to 72, and it would give me more stuff, more space. People don't know this, and it's concerning. That's why I'm making this video. You need to know how to custom build things yourself so that you can stand out when your brand is making money. So padding is very important. Messing with every single padding option on every single section you see here is extremely important. I mean, everything, the jumbo text, even if it's just top and bottom padding, this is calculated to the pixel. It's extremely important. You cannot overlook these things at all. And people want to be very lazy, and it's never going to prevail. Once the site previews are done, making sure it looks good on every single device and the padding looks nice, everything is perfectly even and spaced out, because spacing matters too. That's what padding is part of. You have a nice flow going on, and I've done this for every single page, whether it's the Logistics Racing page here. You can see it's all absolutely beautiful. The Damn Good page, all absolutely beautiful, perfectly spaced out. You can start to look at media. This media has changed 1,000 times over, and if you guys think that I'm just building this in one go and calling it a day, you'd be very wrong. I'm not that smart. This has undergone hundreds of changes. This went through version after version after version, and now it is where it is at. So these visuals have changed a billion times. I've just landed on the best ones that I think look the absolute best, depending on the section, of course. But again, I talk about this in other videos. If you don't already have some sort of palette for whatever brand you're making, that's going to help you infinitely in whatever you're doing. So this here is just a PNG. A lot of you guys might be asking, Adam, how did you add an underline to your header text? A lot of you guys don't think outside the box. I wanted to add some red styling and underlining and this cool thing for my header text, but unfortunately Shopify doesn't really allow that. So how do you do that? Most people would give up and just write boring text, but I had this vision and I wanted to bring it to life. So what did I do? Well, I thought outside the box. I deleted the header text. This is still, if you go here, this is still a header section. Let me go here. This is still a banner, just like you guys use. But you know what I did? I just deleted, look, no heading, no subheading, it's gone, which leaves me a blank left side of the screen. I just made a PNG. That's all. I just made a PNG. Well, Adam, I don't know how to free flow place a sticker on the banner like that. Just do some. I didn't either until I learned how. Quick Google search told me how. I went to Section Store. I found a very useful section. The section is called Animated Sticker Effects. It is a free-flowing sticker section. You can place a sticker anywhere on the website. I used it multiple times. This is, of course, just the header media. This is anything crazy. This is a free-flowing sticker. It just sticks right here. Same with, let's see, let's find some more. We have some here. Every sticker here, this basketball, free-flowing sticker. Look at these cards. They're rotating. You can't normally rotate media, but with these stickers, you can hide them on mobile as well. These are hidden on mobile because I don't think they look great on mobile. But these stickers have these cool little patterns here. Very neat, very nice. It's all in these it's all in the sticker settings right here. Let's scroll down a bit. Animation, spin on scroll. A lot of this, it's not coding. I don't know how to code. I'm not a coder at all. I don't know any coding languages whatsoever. But media is extremely important. You have to identify what pieces of media you want to use on the website, and what pieces of media you do not. There's a lot that I did not use that I absolutely love. There's some sick pictures on here that I didn't use just because it didn't fit. I made multiple collages like this, because I knew I needed a collage, and I cycled through probably 50 different combinations until I found the perfect one. Same with the logo that I used at the top of the site. I cycled through 1 billion logos. I mean, this brand has a lot of logos. They have this D right here, the one up top, which is their main one. They have this marble one right here, because they're in the marble business as well. And it's a lot. It's a lot of revision. And I want to reiterate, because I know there's going to be a comment or two like, you don't need to do this when you're testing a product. Absolutely correct. Use Shrine Theme. But I know I'm showing this brand, but you guys have to understand a lot of the supplements that I run follow the same exact structure. Custom builds, padding on top, bottom, everything perfectly spaced out, free-flowing stickers to make me stand out so that nobody would even begin to think for 1 second that I'm arbitraging my product. And they trust me infinite times over. Now, of course, it's a lot deeper when it gets to supplements and how to make people trust you. I'm probably going to make a video on that, maybe even tonight, I don't know. But these are some small things that make a huge, huge difference. If you're already building a brand that is doing well and you want to take it to the next level, get off a Shrine Theme. Honestly, get off a Shrine Theme. This is not that difficult. Just start clicking buttons till something works out, and don't stop until it looks perfect to your liking, and you're good. Don't worry about this if you're a beginner, honestly. I mean, you can mess with it. It might be interesting to you, but this isn't necessary if you're a beginner. But seriously, I know a lot of people are starting to do very, very well with supplements. Your subscriptions are starting to pop off your MRR. Make yourself stand out. The first thing I did when my current supplement brand started scaling quite a bit, I got off a Shrine Theme. I was on Shrine Theme for the first 10K. Now I'm gone. I'm on another theme. Well, I already told you guys the theme. It's this one, Savor. Literally identical to this almost, just in its own respective ways for supplements, ingredient flip cards and whatnot. But these are just some quick tips and a breakdown of how I built this site. And I just highly suggest you guys start looking into a build like this if you're trying to scale a supplement brand. Seriously, it matters, and it's awesome. But yeah, that's all. Hope you guys found some value from this, and have a good rest of your day. Peace.